A very, very warm welcome to you, everyone that is tuned in, our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our honorable ministers that are with us, and other delegates. I welcome you to the India-Africa Summit for the 2021 edition. My name is Alice Higiro, and I am very pleased and honored to be your host and moderator for this session, for the inaugural session. I will very quickly give an introduction to this particular summit, and then right after that, I will introduce our speakers and our dear audience. I really hope that you're as excited as I am to hear from our high level of delegates today, and as excited as I am for the rest of the summit for the next 2 days. So as you all know, the pandemic has continued to bring up restrictions in terms of travel, and that is why we are unable to still convene physically. But I believe that TEPC is continuing to do a very good job in organizing this summit even virtually. And we are very glad and honored that all of you have continued to partner with us and have continued to show up even as it is virtual. So TEPC is continuing to organize and participate in various virtual shows and conferences, and their objective is to continue building both bi- and multilateral long-term business relationships with both in Africa and in India. In the recent decades, India's engagement with Africa has continued to deepen considerably, and this particular expo, the India-Africa ICT Expo, will build on solidifying those relationships in Ghana and in other African countries in ICT-related matters. Additionally, we know that India has vast experience in building telecommunications and IT infrastructure, fiber and wireless networks, broadband connectivity solutions, ICT software and applications that are relevant both to the private sector, governments, and also secured networks, green telecom solutions, smart cities, and many other technologies. And so this year's particular theme is digital transformation. This is not a new topic, but our conversations and our deliberations this summit are going to be tackling issues or discussing the various ways in which we can accelerate digital transformation, especially in the face of the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. And now I will introduce our various speakers that are going to, our delegates that are going to usher us into this summit. And I hope that you continue to engage with us and that you stay from the beginning to the end. There is a lot of exciting things that are coming up ahead. Thank you. To start with, we are going to receive our welcome remarks from Mr. Sandeep Aggarwal, the chairman of TEPC. TEPC, under the chairmanship of Mr. Sandeep, is committed to put enhanced efforts in action to achieve the best ICT impact that we can receive. Mr. Aggarwal is the managing director and promoter of one of the largest cable manufacturers in India, Paramount Communications Limited. Mr. Aggarwal, you're very welcome.
Namaskar. Excellency Mrs. Ursula Owusu-Ekuful, Honorable Minister of Communication and Digitalisation, Government of Ghana. Excellency Ms. Paul Ingabayer, Honorable Minister for ICT and Innovations, Rwanda. Dr. Lasina Kone, Director, Journal Smart Africa Alliance. Mr. Sevala Nayak Mude, Joint Secretary, C&WA, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India. Mr. Sanjay Nayak, Managing Director, Tejas Networks Limited. Shri Arun Gupta ji, DG TEPC. Senior government officials, virtually connected distinguished guests, and industry leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to the nationals of India and Africa and various other countries who are joining us on this Indo-African ICT Expo 2021. Welcome everybody. On behalf of Telecom Export Promotion Council of India, TEPC, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to one of our flagship events, India-Africa ICT Expo 2021. Scheduled for the next 2 days, that is October 5 and 6. I welcome you all on this promising platform. TEPC is an apex body for promotion and development of exports of telecom equipment and services, including turnkey telecom installation services, telecom operation and maintenance services for telecom hardware and software, telecom network management services, telecom consultancy services, and various other works. This event is today supported by Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministry of Communications and Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India and Smart Africa Alliance, Ministry of Communication and Digitization, Government of Ghana is a co-host of the present India-Africa ICT Expo 2021. The first India-Africa ICT Expo was organized in the year 2015 in Kenya, and it was done twice. Then we went to Nigeria twice, and then in Kenya twice. And this year we are working with Ghana. Although due to the COVID pandemic, we are not able to have a physical meeting, but we very well hope next year we shall have a physical meeting in Ghana. ICT has shown its value to the nations during this COVID-19 pandemic. We have learned to work remotely. We are all meeting today on this platform like we used to meet physically in the past. There are benefits and probably there may be some misgivings. How useful this platform is, but as we are seeing from time to time, that we can always increase the value of interaction while we are meeting remotely, because there is no limitation of time. People can join in from various places together in an expo, look at the products at their own convenience, and get back to the companies and discuss the matters at length. So, having these video conferences, voice calls, and various applications and collaborative platforms using over-the-top content players, virtual public networks, these have requiring now cyber security, data security, and other technologies. And today, the information and communication technology has been the major driver for the economic growth of the countries. We in India have been focusing on the IPR creation, R&D, manufacturing, and the software designing of all ICT technologies. India today wishes to offer our friends in Africa, in Ghana, in Rwanda, in various countries, our world-class products. India has become a large-scale manufacturer of electronic equipment and products, along with the best software of ICT. Because rapid technological convergence has now made a symbiotic relationship between the development strategies of IT and communications. IT flourishes on telecom network and in turn permits modern day communications to use sophisticated IT software. Today, our switches are software encoded. Hard switches telephone exchanges are a matter of the past. Indian companies like Tejas Networks, like Sterlite, like HFCL, like Prayag Technologies, like Paramount Communications Limited are there to support and work with our African partners, friends. Our companies like Airtel, BSNL, TCIL are there to provide world class infrastructure and the running technology of a world class telecom network. Today, the Indian operators are one of the world's largest operators. So, therefore, they have shown that we can provide the lowest cost telecom services to the world, to India, and similarly to the world. Our own Bharati is working in Africa and has been a very, very successful partner with the African countries. It is not a one-way street. The biggest contribution to the mankind has been the mankind itself, which came from Africa. Africa has given us. So we all are Africans in a way. We cannot forget that the first and the most important technologies which were ever given have been developed in Africa by the Africans, and therefore today we are here doing what we are doing, else we would not have been there. So we always believe, India always believes, that it is a two-way street. Sometimes you give us. Today, if it is the situation that India has something to give, India will give it with open hands. India has almost $1 billion line of credit and supplier credit limits with the government of Ghana, for the country of Ghana, and similarly has huge limits for our friends in various other African countries. We know that what we will provide you will guide you, will enable you to develop your own technologies, your own expertise, because that is what India does. India is probably, and I can assure you, is never like those European traders of a few hundred years ago, which exploited the Western African coast in a way which is dehumanizing, or during the past century in which Africa has been exploited for its minerals and for its cheap manpower. No, we wish Africa to be the pinnacle of technology as it used to be, not today probably, but for millions of years when the mankind was developing. And we know the best mind in the world is in Africa. So we wish to collaborate, work with Africa, develop, hone our technologies with Africa, and our companies together with our African partners are sure to make the best products, the best telecom networks in the world. I wish that efforts of India and the conducted ecosystems to boost the equipment manufacturing in India has resulted in such a possibility that the African partners and the Indian partners will be together able to provide the correct services at the correct price points without exploitation of anyone. Thank you so much. I wish everyone participating in this event all the best, and I wish great success for this event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aggarwal. Next up, we're going to receive the introductory remarks from Mr. Sanjay Nayak, the CEO and MD at Tejas Network Limited. Mr. Sanjay is the co-founder, CEO, and MD of Tejas Networks, and he has over 30 years of experience in the field of telecommunications and networking. Tejas Networks is an optical, broadband, and data networking products company based in India. Mr. Sanjay, over to you now.
Good afternoon, all my friends in India, and good morning to everybody in Africa. I'm delighted to be talking at this very important event, and I would like to address Excellency Mrs. Ursula Owusu-Ekuful, Honorable Minister of Communication and Digitization, Government of Ghana. Excellency Ms. Paula Ingabire, my dear friend, Honorable Minister of ICT and Innovation in Rwanda. Dr. Lassina Kone, Director General Smart Africa Alliance, Mr. Sevala, Naik, Mude, Joint Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, Sandeep Aggarwal, Chairman TEPC, senior government officials, virtually connected distinguished guests and industry leaders, ladies and gentlemen. As we all know, over the last 2 years, the spread of COVID has created many challenges to our society, especially in resource-constrained developing countries like India, as well as in many in Africa. However, on a positive note, in India, and I'm sure in Africa as well, we have seen an unprecedented acceleration of digitization of our societies that has helped address and overcome these challenges. As you know, we have seen a lot of innovation in this area, and today, more than ever before, we are using a lot of e-commerce, e-education, telemedicine, healthcare, financial inclusion, e-governance, and many, many other applications more than ever before. And to ensure a seamless transformation of traditional economies to digital economies, we have to focus on a few areas. In India, I was privileged that we saw how over the last 3 or 4 years, and especially in the last 2 years, India has made a serious transformation from being a traditional economy to a fully digital economy. And let me highlight few of these areas and giving examples of the experience that we've had in India and the key issues that we need to be concerned about and where we can partner together between India and Africa. Number one, high-speed digital connectivity over a robust telecom infrastructure. This has been the bedrock, this has been the foundation of digital economies. In India, thanks to the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, we ended up creating a very large, and in fact, the world's largest greenfield rural broadband network called BharatNet, which covers 250,000 villages across the entire country. This is in addition to all the cities, which in turn were covered by all the telecom operators on a 4G network. The good part about India is that between the work that the private telcos did in the cities in terms of offering cost-effective but high-quality bandwidth services on mobile, and the work that the government of India did on providing rural digital connectivity, we are privileged that as a country, a significant part of our country is on high-speed broadband. This is the number one foundation that is needed to have a strong digital society. The number two, I would say, is a strong foundational software platform. And India created the world's largest unique identification system where even illiterate people can have a unique ID based on their fingerprints or iris identification. And this is what links every citizen to all the services that are available. On top of that, very strong financial stack has been created in terms of robust software, in terms of payment gateways, secured bank transfers, etc., etc. And as a result of this, any new application, any new e-commerce company, any new innovator could basically use the APIs from the UID, which is the Universal Identification, as well as the UPI, which is the payment gateway, and really created a whole stack of new services. The third thing on top of this stack was all the applications. And the good part in India, being a very diverse country, we have a lot of local languages, similar to what you would see across different countries in Africa, and a huge amount of applications which are robust, which are rock solid in terms of scalability and performance, and of course, cost effective, have been created for e-governance, for distance education, telemedicine, e-commerce, you name it. And all these things have been done in such a way that it's a plug and play thing where all the robust infrastructure, the foundational software stack, and all the stuff on top is being added together. The fourth thing which has become very important, especially with the more and more connectivity of societies and with the Internet of Things and the 5G, which is coming over, we would pretty much have everything in our lives, whether human beings or the things that we use will be connected on a network. So the security of a network becomes absolutely paramount, because if the citizen services, if the data is compromised, if the network is compromised, our lives could be compromised. So it's no longer a second order problem, it's a first order problem. And we have to design network security, and that can be done by the use of trusted telecom equipment. So India again took a lot of lead, and we have created a very robust system of ensuring that any network element that go into a telecom infrastructure comes from trusted sources, both in terms of hardware, software, manufacturing. And this is again a very strong skill that India has developed, which would again be happy to share with Africa. The next thing is local skill development, because when the networks were working in the country with all the lockdowns of COVID and many other things, it was important that if there was a network issue or if there was a problem of maintenance and operations, it should be possible to fix it at a local level. So we have in India a telecom skill development center started by the government, where pan-India basis, there's a lot of technology training which happens from something as simple as repairing mobile phones to something as complicated as managing a high-speed broadband network or a wireless network on 4G or 5G. All of that stuff, again, is something that we have done at scale. We have done it across different literacy levels, skill levels, and successfully rolled out in the country. And the last part of this is, again, I would say, a very significant support from the government. Government has to ensure that the telecom infrastructure and the digitization of societies is considered as one of the top priorities for a development index of a country. And I think India has done that in terms of the regulatory framework, in terms of the financing framework, in terms of the licensing framework. And of course, we have now a very vibrant ecosystem of telecom equipment and software, which we have developed in India, which can be shared with countries in Africa. And as an example of the kind of cooperation which is possible between India and Africa, I'm very happy to share that the company that I lead, Tejas Networks, we've been in Africa for more than 10 years, and we have achieved very significant success. We have customers in more than 50 countries, including all the major operators. And our equipment, our transmission equipment, our fiber broadband equipment is used for building high-speed optical backbones in Africa, across countries, within metros, and of course, providing high-speed fiber-based home and office broadband connectivity on a very, very reliable scale. And today, I'm very proud and happy to say that Tejas is considered as one of the most trusted telecom equipment brand in Africa, offering the innovation of a Western world country with the cost effectiveness from India, along with the highest quality. And as you know, the Indian telecom market is one of the most competitive telecom markets in the world. We have the highest amount of penetration in terms of mobile penetration at the lowest cost of service. For example, it's very for less than $1 a month, you can download 10 gigabits of data. And again, it's a very highly and high cost quality infrastructure. And with similar demographics and spending power between India and Africa, it is evidently clear that we have a great opportunity to collaborate between India and Africa. And we have to come together, pool our knowledge and resources to innovate and create efficient and affordable solutions. The people in Africa, the entrepreneurs in Africa know what their local problems are. The entrepreneurs in India, the companies in India know how to solve those problems in a complex basis on a scale. And if we can put our minds together, if we can collaborate together, I think we can see a significant amount of success and sharing of like-mindedness between the ideas that can lead to significant amount of success and digitization in both these countries. So over the next few days, I look forward to more successes and more cooperation and more opportunities between India and Africa as we accelerate the journey of digitization of our societies. And I am very positive and optimistic about the possibilities that this really offers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And next up, we will receive a special address from none other than Mr. Sevala Naik Mude, the Joint Secretary C&WA at the Ministry of External Affairs in the Government of India. Mr. Sevala is an Indian Foreign Services officer, and he has previously served as the Indian High Commissioner to Jamaica in the Caribbean region. Mr. Sevala, over to you, sir.
Good morning to all. Honorable Minister for Communication and Digitalisation of Ghana, Mrs. Ursula, Owusu-Ekuful, Honorable Minister of Information, Communication Technology and Innovation of Rwanda, Ms. Paola Ingabire, Dr. Lassina Kine, Director General, Smart Africa Alliance, Sri Sandeep Aggarwal, Chairman, TEPC, friends, guests and participants, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to speak at India-Africa ICT Expo and Conference. At the outset, let me thank the organizer, Telecom Equipment and Service Export Promotion Council, for organizing this important event, which provides us a platform to interact and strengthen our partnership with Africa. Let me explain the long history between India and Africa. India and Africa enjoys a warm and friendly relations based on the long history of partnership which goes back to several centuries. This solidarity and bond became more strong when both the nations were fighting against colonialism. After India gaining its independence, India was one of the first countries to support African countries in their fight against colonialism. India shared its resources with African countries since its independence under the flag of South-South cooperation and several other platforms. As the victims of colonial exploitation, both India and Africa face similar developmental challenges. This robust and dynamic relationship is based on the spirit of developing together as equals. India and Africa partnership is based on the 4 pillars which are very strong, and I would like to explain these 4 pillars in the subsequent paras. Development partnership assistance. I would like to underscore here that the African continent is the second largest recipient of India's overseas assistance. We offer concessional loans, grants and several other assistance in several forms, both in lines of credits and development projects. At the moment, we have 189 projects in 41 African countries which have already been executed, and 77 projects are being implemented which are at different stages of executions. These projects range from drinking water schemes to irrigation, solar, electrification, power plants, transmission lines, cement plants, technology parks and railway infrastructure, etc., etc. The Sustainable Development Partnership between the two regions is also reflected through the International Solar Alliance, an initiative launched by our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi for developing affordable solar energy. We have committed nearly about 2 billion soft loans for solar projects, including in Africa. The second pillar in our relationship is robust trade and investment. India had invested huge amount of dollars into Africa, and our trade between India and Africa today stands at $70 billion, and India is the 5th largest investor in Africa, and cumulative investment is about close to 70 billion again. In sectors like oil and gas, mining, banking, textiles, etc., to further strengthen the trade and investment, we have signed over 134 MOUs, agreements across the sectors since 2014. We also have people to people contacts, which are very important pillar of our associations, especially in areas of education and capacity building. Strong presence of vibrant Indian diaspora and immense goodwill created by Mahatma Gandhi in their freedom movements are catalysts in our relations with Africa. And the fourth pillar, which is emerging and considered to be very important in our relationship with Africa, is defense and maritime security, which is mainly driven by Government of India's SAGAR, security and growth for all in the region policy. Let me talk about the today's conference. Telecommunication and ICT are strengths of India. These can be put to use under Indian grants, credits, or under directly funded programs in Africa and can be utilized to a greater extent. ICT solutions for different infrastructure projects are also an area of expertise which Africa can tap this potential for its good use. India has provided capacity building institutes to Africa such as IT centers of excellence, vocational training centers and entrepreneurship development centers, etc. These institutes can be used for infrastructure development training centers across the sectors in Africa. I am confident that India and Africa ICT EXPO and conference will build and solidify partnership between India, Ghana and other African countries in ICT and related sectors. India can share its vast experience in building telecommunication and IT infrastructure, fiber and wireless networks, broadband connectivity solutions, ICT software and applications applicable for licensed service providers, private and government networks, secured networks, green telecom solutions, disaster management, smart city solutions and much more and many other. This event will provide an excellent platform for participating Indian and African companies to showcase their ICT products and services, understand more about the digital goals of each other and learn how they can support through close cooperation and their mutual benefits, especially during period when we all are coming back to bit normal now. India and Africa ICT Expo with the conference, exhibition pavilions, business meetings and strategies aims to promote ecosystems of digital transformation and forever change the way of seeing things and doing business. Finally, I would like to underscore that India and Africa relationship has always been based on demand driven, non-interference in internal affairs and mutual respect in our developmental partnership, which is based on the spirit of developing together as equals. Once again, I would like to thank TEPC for allowing me to share my views on India-Africa ICT engagement. I wish TEPC all success for its future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you. So audience, we also have another esteemed guest that is here to give us the inaugural address, and that is none other than Mr. K. Rajaraman, the Chairman of Digital Communication Commission and Secretary Telecom, that is Vice Minister in the Department of Telecommunications, Ministry of Communications in Government of India. Mr. Rajaraman is from Indian Administrative Services, and he has previously worked as Additional Secretary in the Department of Economic Affairs in the Ministry of Finance, Government of India. He has also worked towards fostering economic relations worldwide, particularly G20 and the BRICS countries. He also holds a bachelor's degree in engineering and a master's degree in financial management. Mr. Rajaraman, over to you, sir.
Good evening to all the participants of the India-Africa ICT Expo Summit of 2021. I would first of all congratulate the Telecom Equipment and Services Export Promotion Council and its team members for having organized this great expo virtually, and we look forward to great and increased collaboration between Africa and India's telecom equipment manufacturing industry. Africa and India are very connected in several ways. The relationship between African continent and India goes back to thousands of years. And we indeed, I mean, if you look at it from our recent past, we have great relationship between the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, and South Africa. And there are many, many other connections that make the African continent dear from India's perspective. India is a global manufacturing hub, and it's well known for its information technology industry, a fast-growing manufacturing industry related to electronics, and so on and so forth. I'm very happy that the Telecom Export Promotion Council has taken the important task of reaching out to the African markets with India's telecom and information technology products. India is the second largest mobile phone manufacturer in the world, and we have a number of global giants like Apple, Samsung, and many others operating out of India. There are a number of very large global contract manufacturers who have set up establishments in India, leading to the development of a great number of local technologies and vendors, especially in the MSME sector. We have a very large research and development industry relating to telecom, especially in the city of Bangalore, and leading to development of a number of very important patents. We have a Government of India outfit called the Center for Development of Telematics, which works on developing appropriate technology for use by developing countries. In fact, it has developed an indigenous 4G technology and is on the way to developing a robust 5G technology for use by developing countries. We are in fact very proud that Bharti is an African telecom operator and is doing extremely well. India is also the second largest optical fiber manufacturer in the world and does very significant exports to Africa. India itself has shown a number of good examples of how telecommunications could be used for creating a fundamental backbone for the growth of the economy. India's sound digital infrastructure in the form of fiber networks as well as mobile phone networks, in addition to the wireless and wired broadband networks, have actually laid the foundation for a digital India. And the recent example, over the last 4 or 5 years, the Government of India, headed by Hon'ble Prime Minister, has taken a number of measures, some of which are very significant. I mean, one of these, which I would like to put here, is the issue of financial inclusion. India has created a sound digital infrastructure payment platform under the banner of the Universal Payments Interface, as a result of which, when the COVID hit us last year, we were able to transfer money seamlessly to nearly 400 million women and other beneficiaries using the digital payments platform. The secret of such kind of infrastructure is obviously our strong telecom infrastructure, and we expect that over the next several years, once 5G gets rolled out, there will be substantial amount of manufacturing of telecom equipment which would grow in our country. Companies like Tata, TCS, Tech Mahindra, Tejas Networks, there are many other companies which actually manufacture high quality optical networking equipment, optical fibers, as well as other core telecom equipment. So we are very thankful to TEPC for having organized this workshop, and look forward to active collaboration between India and Africa on the issue of trade promotion. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mr. Rajaraman. We appreciate your remarks. And lastly, we will now have our vote of thanks from Mr. Arun Gupta, the Director General of TEPC. Mr. Gupta is an Indian telecommunications service officer who retired from the Department of Telecommunications in the Ministry of Communications in the Government of India. Mr. Arun, over to you, sir.
Very good morning to excellencies and dignitaries from Africa, and good afternoon to excellencies and dignitaries from India. Industry captains, esteemed online delegates, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of TEPC, it's my great privilege to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. I am delighted and feel humble to propose vote of thanks during India-Africa ICT Expo and Conference 2021, our 7th flagship event in Africa for mutual benefits and collaboration in ICT technology domain. I would like to thank our chief guest, His Excellency Mr. K. Rajaraman, Chairman Digital Communication Commission and Secretary Telecom, that is, Vice Chairman, Department of Telecommunications, Ministry of Communications, Government of India, for sparing his valuable time to inaugurate the event India-Africa ICT Expo 2021 and also provide his guidance and support for successful organization of the event. I would like to thank our guest of honor, Her Excellency Ms. Ursula Owusu-Ekuful, Honorable Minister for Communications and Digitalization, Government of Ghana, for sparing her valuable time to address and for providing guidance to the industry. Excellency, we would like to thank Government of Ghana for being co-host of this virtual event and also participation industry from Ghana in the event. I would like to thank our esteemed guest, Her Excellency Ms. Paula Ingabire, Honorable Minister of ICT and Innovation, Government of Rwanda, for sparing valuable time from her busy schedule and addressing industry. I express my hearty thanks to Dr. Lassina Kone, Director General, Smart Africa Alliance, for bringing together Smart Africa Alliance countries. Sir, India is also implementing more than 100 smart cities, and we have a lot of learnings and experience and would like to partner in developments in smart city implementation in Africa. I am grateful to Mr. Sevala Nayak Mude, Joint Secretary, C&WA, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India. Sir, this event is being hosted under Champion Service Sector Scheme of the Government of India for participation by startups and industry. We have more than 20 startups participating in this virtual event. We convey sincere thanks to you for encouraging words and Department of Commerce for funding this event. I convey my sincere thanks to the Chairman TEPC, Mr. Sandeep Aggarwal. Under his chairmanship, TEPC is committed to put all-out efforts to achieve the best for the ICT fraternity. I would like to thank Mr. Sanjay Nayak, Managing Director Tejas Networks, for his introductory remarks. Excellencies, distinguished CEOs from ICT fraternity, stalwarts of telecom industry, senior government officers, all invited guests, dignitaries, friends from print and digital media, ladies and gentlemen, I express my gratitude for your participation to everyone online and offline. Lastly, I would like to thank my entire TPC secretariat, including Ms. Sarbani Das Gupta, Ms. Chinki Vilku, Ms. Neha Thakur, and Mr. Narayan Pandey, for working tirelessly for making this event a grand success. I would like to thank virtual platform providers and each one associated with this event. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Arun. Audience, I hope now this has served enough to inspire you to look forward to the next 2 days. And before we head into the first session, I'd like to express special thanks to the Government of India, particularly the Ministry of Commerce, the Ministry of Communication, and the Ministry of External Affairs. Thank you so much for your collaboration and partnership in making this event successful or happen. Secondly, we would like to thank the Government of Rwanda, particularly the Ministry of ICT and Innovation. And also, we would like to thank the Government of Ghana, in particular, the Ministry of Communication and Digitalisation. And lastly, we would like to thank the Smart Africa Alliance. Thank you all for your great partnership and collaboration in making this event happen for the 2021 edition. And now, our dear audience, we are welcoming you to the next the sessions. I believe we have 2 sessions happening today. I hope that you enjoy, and I wish you fruitful deliberations in the next 2 days. Thank you very much.